Hello and welcome back to SpaceBourne 2. In this video, I will give you some tips and tricks that can save you time and make your time in space even better. Let's get to it, because there's a lot of ground to cover. The game is divided into 3 skill trees. Soldier refers to ground combat, pilot refers to space combat, and adventurer refers mostly to exploration, story missions, and many other activities. Since some of those activities are still early in development, leveling up this skill tree is very slow and hard by conventional ways. Thankfully, the problem solves itself with this perk. Probably everyone that plays the game for a while now would have this as their #1 priority on a new game. You will require a few level ups into Adventurer, but playing through the story will quickly allow you to grab this and make progressing much easier. If there is one truth to every space game, is that you should adjust it to your liking. Make sure to explore the settings window and change things as you see fit. However, watch out for the Keybinds. Some keys, like the warp drive key, is shared with other features, like the battle engine during fleet operations. The aim key is used in other areas, like when stabilizing escape pods, and the target lock, which defaults to the middle mouse button, is also used when locking warp jumps. As is often the case with sandbox RPGs and early access, it's a good idea to save often. Have a manual save to back up your progress. The game autosaves at different moments and has a different save for when you enter a different system, but having a backup is recommended to avoid losing progress. You can also hit F6 for quick save, which overwrites the autosave slot, and F8 for quick load. Just be aware that the game saves in the background and shows a process icon here. Closing the game or reloading at this moment can and will break your saves. This was reported and should be fixed in future updates. Strafing and dodging can keep you alive during tougher fights. When the game shows a red message mentioning flare during combat, press X to launch flares and avoid the enemy missile. Enemies that are too strong can one-shot you with a well-timed missile. Double tapping the strafe keys will perform a dodge maneuver. To pick up cargo quickly in space, use the top right interface. Click on the box tab, click on a box, select all items and send a probe. Your probe will return with all your items. This may feel like a silly tip, but not realizing this made me waste time and a bunch of key presses and clicks. When looking at the local map of a system, hovering over planets will show you this small window with the planet's information. Below it, it shows you if you have a mission on this planet. Another tip is about quickly setting your warp targets to your mission location. Go into your mission log, select the mission and click this button. When you go to a Stargate, your route is already set. Note that some long story missions may lose their location under one step or another, so you'll have to set the target manually if this happens. This doesn't seem intended, so it might get fixed in the future. During story quests, you will reach stages where you have to wait for something to happen, or for someone to call you. If you're not used to this kind of game, this is the game telling you should go explore, have fun, and especially learn the game and gear up. Whenever the game tells you to wait for something, use this time to explore whatever features sound good to you. Try joining one of the guilds that interest you the most and work through it. The best tip I can give is to pretend like you are in the 90s and fast swap your weapons by pressing 2 and 3 in order to skip the animations and fire faster. Combining that with perks like Area Force and the slow time skill can be rather overpowered. Using this with 2 pulse shotguns is pretty broken, and I would expect it to be changed eventually. After doing some story missions and tutorials, you may be led to believe this is one of those space games that you need to have an anti-shield gun and an anti-hull gun in 2 different weapon groups at all times. This is not necessarily the case. Some guns like railguns deal great damage to both shield and hull, and you can fill your whole ship with them. Mind that the more weapons you are assigned to the same weapon group, the lower the efficiency of the weapon. In short, you get diminishing returns for having too many turrets assigned to the same weapon group. You can work around this by having 2 weapon groups and using a ship with the Weapon Burst perk, which fires all your groups at the same time for a short while. This will overheat both groups and requires energy, so watch out for that. With this sort of build, you can take on ships of higher levels and tires than you whenever you want. Once unlocking guild missions such as those from the Freelancer and Mercenary guild, you may think that taking on harder enemies is the best for loot and money, but that isn't always the case. Some mission types pay more than others in terms of money or experience, but the level and tier of enemies doesn't seem to be a factor at the moment. This is likely unintended and could be changed in the future, But right now, taking on easy missions means that you can do more of them in a row and gives a better payout overall, especially in terms of experience. Eventually, you may be able to handle anything the mission boards can throw at you, so grabbing multiple missions in the same systems in order to avoid the long travel times is much better than anything else. If you're after better loot, harder missions have harder enemies, so they have a chance of dropping something good, especially higher tier enemies. The higher level and higher tier items can be worth much more than the lower leveled ones, but in my case I prefer to use missions only for the experience. It seems better to unlock better stores through higher guild ranks, gain experience through the missions, make money however way you enjoy the most, and buy or keep the great equipment whenever you find it. You can store them in the bank. Even though some guilds are not fully developed right now, 3 of them offer you better stars and items the higher your rank with them. For ship weapons, you will want to rank up with the freelancers, for ground weapons with the mercenaries, and for ship components the bounty hunting guild. You rank up in guilds by taking on their missions, usually done through the galaxy web screen. Note that for the mining guild, you get money by mining, and with the explorer guild by exploring. There are no missions available for those guilds at the moment. If you're having a hard time finding a guild, make sure to open the guild screen and look at the closest branch field for the guild you want to find. It shows you the closest system to you with that guild station. Other than the popular mercenary raid missions, capturing pods is the best way to make money right now. Here's how to capture unsuspecting enemies. First, you need to buy pod catchers at your nearest component store. They are consumable items. You then need to equip them on the Component Management tab on the Services interface. Second, destroy an enemy ship. Every time a ship is destroyed, there's a chance someone will eject an escape pod. Those pods are marked purple, and they spin around uncontrollably. You have to hold the right mouse button while aiming at it to stabilize the pod before you can capture it. Note that if you reassign the key for aiming while on the ship, you will need to use that key for stabilizing the pod instead. I changed it to one of the thumb mouse buttons. Third, with the pod stabilized, launch your pod catcher. Consumable items are shown here and are used by pressing 6, 7 or 8 key on the keyboard. If the pod does not launch, try aiming directly at the pod. Wait for the pod catcher to work its magic and drag the space hobo to you. You now have a prisoner. Fill up your brig and go to the nearest outpost. Inside, you can find a security console where you can hit deliver and be paid for being such a good person. Note that not all stations have security consoles to deliver prisoners to. Usually, the ones named Outpost will have one. As an extra tip, there are ships that come with a Stabilized Pods perk. Those ships are great money makers. Stabilizing pods is rather hard and boring, but if you have a ship like that, you can stabilize all pods around you instantly with the click of a button, then just aim at them and throw in your pod catchers. You can store many items in your bank, but if you start collecting gear, you can run out of space. Although there is a perk that gives you more bank slots, a better way to deal with this is to just use your old chips as extra bank slots. Just move the items back into the bank when you need them. One hidden and unannounced feature is the ability to paint your ships and upgrade their level, tiers, as well as add module slots. This feature feels very clearly in development, but it is very cool that develop didn't hold this back and let it in for us to find and play around with. You need to find a system with a faction hangar and land on it. Diode N25 usually have one. The station design makes it hard to find a landing pad, so it's a good idea to request docking here. Inside the little glass dome here, you will find stars and a couple of mysterious terminals. This one allows you to level up your ship and its tier. And yes, ships have levels and tiers, which I didn't realize at first. You can also add up to 2 more module slots, meaning you could add 2 more turret hardpoints or add slots to expand your cargo hold and more. I recommend always saving your game before modifying your ship like this, because making a mistake here is very expensive. In the central console, you can change your ship's colors as well as its skins. Some ships have different skins for higher tier levels and some don't. Make sure to click apply and close when done. Later on in the game, you can assign yourself up to 4 wingmen. You do so by going in the faction screen and clicking and dragging them to the slots around you. Pressing F1 will have them warp in, and there are some basic commands that can be given when they are around. To deal a lot of damage quickly, have them be on attack formation and they will stick close to you, hitting whatever flies close. This can be really useful when doing certain types of missions that can hit you with 8 enemies at once. It can also save your life in case you get interdicted on a bad moment. Finally, the time I was waiting for. There's this cool maneuver you can do if you have a ship with engine burst. I call it Sublight Drifting. You can activate drift mode by pressing Alt and then activate engine burst, which is usually assigned to 5. The ship will fly extremely fast, and this can be used to escape enemies, instantly fly up and away from planets, and approach faraway enemies and more. This maneuver can break some things in the game currently, so use it responsibly. The developer is aware of this maneuver now, so it could change over time. And now here's a couple extra tips from the community. The game can be GPU intensive at the moment, so it may be a good idea to turn on VSync. If you're still hunting hot, you may want to limit your FPS to 60 or even 40 in your graphics card configuration software. Some missions may have waypoints well outside the scanner map range. Make sure to rotate the map if you can't find a mission waypoint. Note that bounty hunting missions usually have hidden waypoints, and that may be intended. And we're done! I hope you found something useful in this video. Share your own tips and tricks in the comments below. As I was finishing editing this video, the developer released the large 1.10 version, which enables us to take over entire solar systems. There will be definitely a lot of good tricks and strategies for the game in the future, so feel free to correct, update or add anything below when this gets outdated. As always, hit that like and subscribe if you would like to see more SpaceBourne content. Fly angry!